Hey guys, and today, um, I've been doing a lot of this stuff. As you guys have noticed, I've been doing a lot of videos lately where I talk about certain things, when it comes to my certain life and certain issues and things I want to talk about the most. Sorry, it's late, so if I turn this off, it's gonna be completely dark out here. I'm not joking. Like, I think if I shut this off, you guys should see, like, the light from my TV. Nope. I look like a boogeyman. Don't worry. I'll block it with my face. Got a giant head for a reason, you know. Okay, so I pretty much talked about everything. And the one thing I have always been stepping around on is parenting ones. When I'm not a parent, but too, yeah, I've talked about being child abused and talked about a lot of other things. So in other words, I've talked about a lot of the stuff in my, well, not a lot of it, just little sneaky little bits on situations. And with my phone being a certain percent, it allows me to have the perfect time to know when it's time for me to stop recording and do whatever. I don't know. Alright, so let's get into it. Number one. Don't know how else to say this. I'm going to talk about every little issue I've had with my mom. And I'm going to talk about not even the little issues, I'm going to talk about the big issues, really. The little issues are down here. Those are stuff that you're going to deal with every single day of life. Those are, yeah, that's just uncomfortable stuff. But I'm going to talk about the stuff that really needs to be said. Now, since I was only raised by my mom, understand this, this will mostly be directed to mothers, but also to fathers in a certain way as well. How much I do not know what fathers do in this predicament, but mothers, yeah, pretty much. I was raised by only one parent. I'm literally the joke. So the thing I was going to talk about first is going for your kid's room. And I'm not talking about searching for something. If you have a at least decent reason, I say you can. I say that should be valuable. Also, and if I ever have a kid, these are the same things that I'm going to implement in my life. If I ever do, again, with the amount of abuse I've had, I really am afraid of having a child. So probably not. But yeah, I'm talking about having complete control over your kid's privacy. No. Just because you gave birth to them, does that mean you control? Well, in certain aspects, yes, you do control their life, but you don't. One, there's a difference. Okay, there's a difference. There's a difference between being a parent and then acting like you're a god. You're a god is either going to do the same thing that's going to happen to my mom, is I'm just going to remove her from my life as soon as I get my own place. Like, it's instantaneous. It will be instantaneous. As soon as I start paying my stuff, I swear on everything, I'm going to be gone faster than the Flash. So, in other words, yeah. And also, you being God, one, has caused, and I don't think people have noticed, is the fact that there are not that many, but there are a few instances where kids, teenagers, and other people have gone to jail from killing their parents for bullshit reasons. I mean, not bullshit reasons for them. I do say some of them were a little bit harsh and was not called for, but there's some where if you even read them or heard them, you'll be questioning yourself and wondering if he should not be in prison. I'm not going to be talking about them because, again, this is not a video about you should not kill your parents. You should not do harm against other people, okay? Find other outlets that doesn't involve physical harm to you or anyone else. That's what I'm going to say right now. Don't ever cause physical harm to anyone else. And sometimes you can't control that. Sometimes someone needs the hands, and so you have to give the hands, okay? That is perfectly valid. But if you can avoid it. You get in less trouble that way. So yeah, and I usually use video games and watching TV and other stuff just to be my little gateway from it. Mom gets me irritated. God Jesus, if I have money, I'm going to McDonald's. Like, I'm serious. If I have money, I'll walk to McDonald's. I don't care how far it is. If it was like 3-hour walk, I would be walking 3 hours, being like, da 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 da. But yeah, I'm talking about when you go into a kid's room, and you're like, oh no, the door needs to be open. Oh, I need to know what you're doing. I don't trust you. First of all, here's the thing. No, shut up. You have done the same freaky shit that they are probably going to start doing. We've all done it. No, stop. Be quiet. You've done it. We've done it. The only people who I think don't do it is full Christian like people who are literally like in like a very strong Christian household where like you're not able to do sexual shit and other than that, and you were a kid when this happened, so you kind of like intimate this into actual parenting. So I think that's the only case where that can't really be stopped. In my opinion, this can't be stopped. But one, no. And also, don't act Christian just for that you can do this. I have this. Respect your kids how you want to be respected. Just because you gave birth to them in any way, shape, or form, male or female, does not mean you get to be a dick or a god. At all. It does not mean that. And also, here's the thing. And I'm going to talk about some things that parents say a lot, and it pisses me off, and I'm going to say it, but just let me, what's good for this one. Yes, of course, yes, they're going to do weird shit when it comes to them being by themselves. Now, with them with someone else, I'm not going to get into that. When they're with someone else, it's going to happen eventually. Yes, go ahead, gladly try and stop it, but it's going to happen eventually. So what you can do is two things. One, be a jackass, and basically they will have to do it behind your back. And then you get further issues because you didn't tell them the problems that comes from it. Or, you see they're going to that type of step, and you have a conversation with them. And the same thing if they're doing freak shit with themselves, okay? Just tell them to close the door, make sure they're silent, and to clean their sheets and their bedding by themselves, including their own clothes. When they're done, like everything in that room needs to be clean after when it's done. When you're done, make sure you get everything, clean it. All it is. They're allowed to do that because that doesn't cause physical harm to anyone else. It does have certain issues if you do it consistently, so that's when you step in as a parent. In my opinion, again, these are all just strictly my opinion. But anything else, yeah, no. Be quiet. Number two, and what I was going to say is the thing that has irritated me the most. My mom has said it, another parent. I've heard other parents say it. I put food on, I give you food, I have a roof over your head, and what's the other one? Food, roof. Oh yeah, and you get clothes on your body. So you're saying that your kids should praise you for doing the bare minimum of parenting? And before any parents text her and be like, it's not the bare minimum. It is. It really is the bare minimum. I'm sorry to say this. It is. Okay, I would understand if you have done everything. Like you brought them the stars. You brought them the moon. And you was like, bring the moon down to the ground. Bring them the moon. And you brought them. You helped them with everything. You helped them with their future. You helped them with their biggest dreams. That's not doing the bare minimum. That's going above and beyond. And not every parent can do that. Not every parent has the skills enough to help that. I'm not judging you. But I'm saying, and I'm not saying it's bad that you do the bare minimum. It doesn't matter. But the thing about parents saying, you do this, you do that, I do this, I do that for you, you're just saying the bare minimum that every parent has to do. And before a parent says, no, I don't, one question. I should not question, just listen. Number one, you could kick your kid out of your house, but with no place for him to go to, a cop will find him. And if he finds you, you're going to jail for child abandonment. Number 2, food. If you starve your kid, that's another crime. Number 3, you don't give him clothes and he shows up at the school butt-ass naked. 1, that's embarrassing time, fuck you. Number 2, and this is probably the most important one of all. Jesus, I need to wash my hair. That is another legal law. I don't know what it's called, but I know it is one of them. So, in other words, you're talking about the 3 things that you have to do. Now, let me just say this. You didn't have to keep your child. You didn't. You could have put him up for adoption. You could have put him up for, and you could have had him adopt. You could have had him in a foster home. There is literally, I think there's 3 options in total of what you can do to give them a better home. I'm being serious. You have 3 options right there. Now, with some people, with some parents, I do think that some kids would have been better being put into a foster home or anything else, really. I definitely, truly believe that they would have been better off in there than with the parents I have. Yeah, trust me, I'm one of them. I do believe that I would be better with me being into a foster home or anything. Because, in the end of the day, my life situation has never been good. My childhood has never been great. My life has never been great. I made it great. I want everyone to know this. My life is only semi-peaceful and good because I made it like this. Okay? Mom bought the punches. I dodged and I punched back. Okay? I kept on pushing forward. And guess what? I found a form of peace. Now, here's the thing. It's still chaotic and stuff. But you gotta find your own level of peace. And you have to find your own level of respect. Now, my situation is way different than everyone else's. So I'm not going to tell anyone to do what I did or do what I do. Other than find some way to distract yourself from it. If it's listening to music, if it's playing video games afterwards, if it's this, that. And also, video games is the next one. But the parents who say, pause the video game when it's online. You need to wait. Now, here's the thing. There's a very easy and simple way for you to do this. For then you can easily talk to your kid, say what you want, and tell him, and you will get the situation. Well, depending on how bratty your kid is. But you just tap him on the shoulder. Hey, I know you're playing the game, but after this game, I saw that you didn't really finish the dishes. It's okay. I know you tried your best, but I need you to go finish those dishes, okay? Just put them in the drying rack or put them in the dishwasher. It's fine. You know how to operate it. Okay, so after this game, I need you to go down there and do it real quick, and then you can come back up here and play some games. Thank you, buddy. That's literally how it is. It's just a simple conversation. And for what I can say, for the amount of people who do TikTok videos about parenting, and when it comes to that situation, yeah, you guys don't do that, don't you? I'm assuming there's a parent out there. I'm assuming there's a fair few parents that do that, but I'm assuming there's a lot of you guys who don't. Because you guys think that, oh, I was treated like this as a child, so that means I gotta treat my kid as a child. No, that's a choice. That is a choice. That is a choice that you are making. And you are choosing to continue that instead of just doing your own thing. Or treating your kid with respect. Because here's the thing. End of the day, your kid's human. You treat humans with respect. We both fucking know that you wouldn't treat anyone the way you treat your kid. Because you know for a fact that, one, if you are an abusive parent who have beaten your kid, you beat a random man or female, doesn't matter, you're getting your ass whooped. Just straight up. We both know that you ain't going to be doing that to straight up people. You're doing this to your son, so he's a special case. Nah, I don't roll with that. I don't roll with people beating their kids for any form of, and when it comes to enjoyment, wanting to get their anger out, personal teaching, or anything. I don't roll with beating your kids at all. I don't roll with it. I'm not a part of it. I will, and again, the small possibility if I do actually have a kid, I'm never doing it. because I see as legal child abuse. And why I see as legal child abuse, I'm not gonna say this thing just for I can keep the other kids who have parents that beat them in the safe zone. So yeah, how many people watch my videos? I have like 31 subscribers. Love you guys, by the way. So yeah, and God, Jesus, I really need to wash my hair. Wash, comb, everything. God, Jesus. As soon as it gets summer, I'm getting this haircut. So, and then we have number one. Number one of the greatest issues that have ever been said on any form of social media or any form of parenting at all when it comes to kids. It's not gaming, it's not dishes, it's not chores. Sometimes it's chores, but the number one of the biggest issues that kids have is when, and these are very few parents, my mom is one of them, when we do the best we can to give you respect and treat you how we want to be treated, but then you point your anger at us, be disrespectful at us, and then you turn around and ask us to do something later, like, what's the mindset on that? Do you think that you're going to treat your kid with disrespect? And I get this. He's your kid. I get that mindset. He's your kid. He's going to do what I say because he's my child. He can also remove you out of his life. Understand this. You think you have all this freaking power, but understand this. The older your kid gets, the more you keep on fucking up with him or her, depending on or he, him, or whatever gender child you have, is the more they will consider removing you out of their fucking life. Now, if you care or don't care, that's completely up to you. But for me, I would love to be in my kid's life. To the day I fucking die. Okay, if I lose my kid because of the dumb shit that I did, I would be crying in my fucking room. I would be crying with my fucking wife. I'll be crying on her, being like, how could I do this dumb shit? Now, I don't know. Now, every parent is not the same. Okay, they couldn't give a shit. Some parents couldn't give a crap about what that parent would do, or what. But in other words, and also here's the thing: there's a far worse option that could possibly happen, and I call it the instant thought. Why? Because this is the instant thought that pops up into your brain. And how much I do not condone people who would like to do this. I do not condone it, and please do not do it. I am not saying that it's okay. It is not, but it does happen. I wonder what she would look like in a coffin. Yeah. Fucked up parents treats people the way, and I'm gonna get to raising kids in next now. Your kids, when they're born, they have to trust you. I'm talking about when you birth them in this world, they have their complete trust. They have the trust in you. They believe in you. They divide on you. So whenever you treat them, and this is how I do see the soul, some people see it differently, this is how I see it. I see the soul as this little white speck. It has not evolved, okay? It doesn't have, it hasn't turned into, and I say, your soul turns into different colors, but can also be part of the elements as well. Like water and fire. Fire, for me. And your soul will keep on evolving, keep on changing, constantly. That's just the way of life. That's not what I'm getting. It's that your kids will provide on you, and they will, and the way you raise them is how you stage their first evolution into growing up, and then in that point that's when you either did a good job or you fucked up, because there's no turning back. You can't just rewind time and go back to that point and be like, oh, let me try this way. Okay? And so, in other words, I do feel bad for the people who are in prison, because when I hear about, oh, this person went to jail, that person probably had a shitty childhood that turned him into this. And honestly, that's what makes me feel bad. I'm not saying these people should be let out. Their souls, again, permanently changed. They're now like this for the rest of their life. They can only change if they want to. But again, with the way society is in America, or basically in the world, when you fuck up too much, the world stops even giving you chances to get your life around. And that's the part that's really sad, because there's like people who are homeless because of these type of situations and other things. And there's other messed up things that I've heard, and I am going to get my forte on that. My phone's at 4%, so I think I'm going to end it on this one. Because I think I got a good roundabout, and you guys can get what I'm trying to say here. I really try to make it, again, I do try to make these videos seem like I am trying to talk about all roundabouts in situations, and not just about what goes on in my personal life. So, I think I did a good job on that. So yeah, my phone's at like 4%, so I gotta get this done. The thing I'm gonna say last, but definitely not least, is that the 3 things I see that a kid needs is love, respect, and trust. You love, respect them, trust them, they're going to be able to trust you with information, and they will actually go and ask you for help. If you have to snoop around to get to know your child, I'm not gonna say you fucked up, okay? Sometimes your kids are just very territorial about their life, but also, you shouldn't be snooping either way. Your kid's life is their private life. You don't snoop on their life just because you want to know them or you want to know what's going on in their situation. You talk to them. Ask them, hey, how's your day? Yada, yada, yada. If your kids decide to tell you what happened at all, then I guess you're in their trusted circle, I guess. Who knows? But you can't force trust. And you can't buy it either. That's including with your kids. You can't buy their love, you can't buy their trust, you can't buy their honor. All that you need to earn. You need to earn it. You can't buy it, you can't claim it. You can't just say, like, I'm your parent, so I should have it immediately. You need to earn it. And you thinking raising them is enough? Sometimes it is, yes. But when you keep on messing up, you abuse them in any form of way, vocally or physically, sorry to tell you this, raising them ain't going to be enough for you to get that. Okay? Hope this helped. Again, don't really get on my case about this, because, again, this is just all what I think. This is all what I'm saying. I'm not saying this as a full-on fact, but you should believe what I say. Okay? This is one I've been trying to avoid for a while, and I was trying to do some other stuff, and then you guys can see. But yeah. Again, my phone's at 4%, so I'm going to end this recording here. You guys are probably not going to see this recording for quite a while. You guys are going to probably see some other recordings. So, yeah, honestly, I'm very interested to see how this affects my YouTube channel. Okay, but yeah, see you guys there. Crimson Thunder, out.